have files which she took with the camera, and they look like that. So it's nice that the rare books can be shared like this, but it's hard to read. So we want to do two things. First, desaturate these files, then make them more contrast, and then split them into two, and then save as a PDF. So quite nice idea, but it's not easy to do if you do it one by one. So then I thought that Blender software has a composite node where you can feed a sequence of frames and process them one by one in the similar fashion. So I thought, why if you can process rendered frame, you can as well process photos, and that was my idea. So to feed Blender with photos, you need to keep in mind two things. First of all, your photos should be more or less the same, so the size should not really deviate a lot from some numbers. So it doesn't matter if it's 2200 or 2300, but if it's 2000 something and 5000 something one folder, it will create a problem which you don't want to solve. So, but if it's the same photo device and the same photos, it will be more or less the same. So it's the first thing. Second, if you delete some files and there is like a gaps in your sequence, like let's take it like that, you need to know that Blender will try to find this missing frame, and if it won't find it, it will insert a black frame into it. So it's not that big of a problem, but you should pay attention for the total number. So as you see, that's 148 files, but for Blender it will be around 150 files because there are several files missing, and it will insert the empty frames. So well, you just need to keep that in mind. So let's go into Blender. So it's quite easy, everything is quite easy. You just create an empty scene. There is nothing but one camera, active camera. Then you go to the frame size, and you input your either average size of the photos, either exact size of the photos, and you crank this slider to 100% so it won't be scaled. Second, you set the frame range. So the first frame will be first frame, and the end frame will be okay. It's tricky here. So in my case, it was 150 because we have 149 files and one missing in the end. But if you don't know how many files are missing, you just take this number 365, and then you take the last number 514, and you try to find how much difference, the delta between two numbers, and that will be the number of the frames, and you put that number over here. So that's all for the preparation, except you might want to turn everything for the shading to speed up the renders. Then you go into the node editor, and you go to the node tree for the rendering. You click this tick, use nodes, and instead of the classical render layers, you add another node which is from inputs, image, and you go open, and you go to your folder. Just select every file, you just click A, and you click open. So basically, Blender had done all the job for you, except might be a little bit incorrect. Okay, and okay, so it does all the job for you. So it's already found that we start with the frame 365, which it's called an offset from 0, which is 364. Why? Because Blender calculates with starting with 0, and so sometimes you either need to, so if you get a strange result, you just need either to add one or delete one. Then you say that the start frame will be 1, which is same as here, and you set the total frame numbers. For some reason Blender didn't get them correctly, so for the time being I will set 149 as we see here to show you the small problem. So now you just connect it to your shading network, which in my case is simple distillation node, a small RGB curve nodes, and you compose everything to the compose output. Then you click render to see if it worked. So as you can see, it worked. Well, you can adjust everything, it's up to you, and well, everyone has different taste. But now you should add the little time slider, and you need to check two things. First, it's the first frame which you have here. So frame number 1, it's here, and we compare it with our files. So as you can see, they're the same. Now you go to the end of the timeline and you select the last file. As you can see, first of all, as you can see, we have additional frame over here. So this frame is not the same. So this is the one before that, and that's our last frame. So why it's happened and what's happening here? So if you go one frame backwards, you will see that basically our frame ends at this 149 frame, and then Blender just duplicates the frame it's found afterwards. So why? It's because we have one missing photo somewhere in the middle, and well, that sort of makes problems. That's why you just add another frame in this counter, 150, and Blender found the missing child. So as long as the last frame of your sequence is the same with your last frame of the process sequence, and the first frame as well is the same, then you are okay. If it's not, you just need to see the number difference and make sure that these frames here and here, well, there's enough frames to fit all the numbers you have, because if there is a missing frame, Blender will just render as it's a black one. So, well, now you can choose a output format. For my purpose, I will use a JPEG with 90 quality compression. Well, because I need the file more or less clear, and I don't want to waste a lot of space, which it would happen in PNG case. So you just select the directory you want to output it. In my case, it was desktop temp2, so accept. And so that's all with Blender. You just click this animation button, and Blender starts slowly processing one by one your frames. Well, it's not slowly, it's not slowly, just less than a second takes to process one frame. It just takes some minutes to process everything. So I don't need it anymore. So as Blender already destroyed some of the files, I will show it here. So here our process files, nice and clean. Now we can go to our Adobe software. I use Acrobat Pro software, and you can combine files, and you just take all these files and combine them. So now it's now the last and quite interesting part of how to split these files into two. So first of all, you save this as a PDF, and now you need to use a software called Breeze. It's a free software. It's written with Java, so it works on Mac, Windows, and Linux, and it's quite easy to use. So how can we use it? So first we start it. Oh, it's Java, so it won't first start fast. Then you load file, and you feed your binder. So already to save time, I've already bind all these files into one PDF file, and we open it. No, we can stop this one. So the Breeze software generates a small preview of all your files, and as you can see, there is a frame for first crop, and there is and you can just click and drag to create the second frame. So we arrange everything. So first frame covers first page and all the options. it knows the cases, and second frame covers the second frame, knows in the second page knows the cases. So we do this with the second sort of case, like that, and we create it. So basically all we need to do right now is to press this crop PDF button and save our cropped file. So as well, I've already done it. So it's here. And as a result, we got a file like that, where all the pages were split. They're black and white, and well, there is a lot of room to improve the result, but I just wanted to show you the basic idea. Now you can open this file again in PDF Pro and try to compress it and try to process it, maybe deskew it, maybe trying to find the text from this file and so on. But the idea is, but the original idea, we've managed how to do it. So we have a lot of photos and we made a small book from them. Now that's all. Bye.